And we are live. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I've just been dealing with some construction going on next door, so I've got these funny headphones on. But we are live, working through some distractions. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm David Starlyte. I'm here with you every week, live from Australia. It's a beautiful day here today. The skies have been lit up. They've been pink. They've been stunning. So yesterday last couple of days, I've been walking along the beach in the evening with the sun setting. It's just been so, I would say, sublime. And you just want to pause and take in the moment and enjoy it. So welcome to everyone, new and old, friends of the show. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending digital stars, a digital gift that helps me to earn money. So we're coming to you live all the way from Australia. Please do like and share the show if the content resonates and you want to support the show. So let me know what's happening in the world. I don't follow the news very closely, put it that way. I'm not completely isolated. I do have some connection. However, I'm not closely monitoring the news. So if anything interesting is happening wherever you are, you can feel free to share in the comments section. So coming through with some guidance, spiritual mentorship, and pulling a card from the wonderful Starseed Oracle, which looks like that. And just the sound next door. I do not do well with sound. Welcome to the show, Kim. I'm doing okay. There's just a little bit too much going on with the neighbors, and I really would like to manifest not having people making construction next door. I don't know how it can be tolerable. In fact, I'm like, how is this legal? I don't get it. I don't make the laws, unfortunately, so I have to let go a little bit of my ego. So the card coming out from this beautiful Starseed Oracle. And how are you, Kim? I'm going between topics. How are you, Kim? And welcome to the show. This is very much reminding us of birthing, that we all come to this world, most of us through the birth canal, some of us cesarean section. But however we enter this world, we enter kind of portal. You can think of it as a portal, a transformation from the inner world to the outer world, coming into the 3D matrix. Kim says she is okay. Marianne says, good thing you weren't landing at LaGuardia. There was a sinkhole on the runway 1 to 3. I know how you feel about construction noise. Yeah, I just don't get it. I'm like, do people not consider others and think that such, for me, it's like, well, if we're going to make noise, let's do it from 2 to 3 in the afternoon, and that's it. We have an hour where everyone can just do their construction, but not this kind of 7 a.m. whatever cacophony that goes on. I'm getting a bit sidetracked. I won't go into it, but thank you, Marianne. That's interesting. Perhaps there's others like me who agree that noise pollution is pollution. No, they don't. It's dissonance to my soul. It certainly is, Marianne. It certainly is dissonance. And if we do need to make sound, most of the time there are construction companies, whatever, they can do it off-site. I don't think there's that much that needs to be done on-site these days, because you prefabricating, you're building things in factories. So yeah, interesting topic. And in factories, people, people have these headphones. So it's just a different topic, I guess. Coming back to the birth as a portal, what does that mean to you? That is the card that the Starseed Oracle is bringing us today, about birthing, about being birthed, about bringing a new world, bringing a new earth, manifesting a different kind of reality that is connected, and perhaps more sensitive people can be supported in this new world, this new reality. So that's the card coming through. Just checking over here a little bit more. Now, the people who designed these cards, they didn't design these cards. They weren't really thinking about practicalities. So sometimes the greatest ideas don't go anywhere because they don't have the practical element, the foundational element. So birth ushers new life. It's we're talking about birth as a portal. Birth as a portal that brings new life, which is a message collectively for all of us, that birth is happening in our own lives. So what does that mean to you? What new things are you bringing into the world? What new creations are you manifesting? What are you bringing forward? What ideas, what services, what energies, what even things, nothing wrong with things. What are you bringing into the world? It also reminds us of the unconditional love of the mother, of being inside this womb, being inside the womb, which you can think of as a sacred container, a sacred vessel for life. And it's interesting to imagine our little body being in this little vessel of life for 8 months or whatever it was. And welcome to the show, Ahmed. Great to see you. Where are you in the world? I'm always curious where people are. We get people all over the place. So bringing this energy of protection, bring this energy of protection, remembering that protection. We've sort of come out into the light, and the light can be pretty raw, pretty overwhelming, and you can see through things, see so much. When your eyes are closed, when you're in the darkness, it's safe. So seeing can be confronting, depending on what we are seeing. So that's a beautiful reminder from the Starseed Oracle. I am always drawn to the Buddhism Oracle deck, which looks like that. And we are going to ask for a message from the Buddhism Oracle deck. And feel free to share any thoughts, insights, comments in the comment section. Kim, did you have any memories of the birthing canal and any insights as a mother? I think that's also a key, because I don't have the personal experience, and I'm just some funny things going on behind me, which I'm just removing, getting everything in place here. Let's see there. That's making a funny thing. Yeah, sometimes there's things that just get stuck. I'm just going to move that around. Just moving. Moving things around. That's better. Okay, we are ready to roll. Okay, so the Buddhism Oracle deck. What is the Buddhism Oracle deck saying today? Marianne says, all I remember was reading the doctor the right act for using forceps. I came in face up. You mean when you were born? Face up, wow. Yeah, this medical system is pretty cruel and pretty inhumane a lot of the time. A lot of things are just not even, they're not at all scientific. They're not evidence-based. They're using this word evidence-based. It's got really popular recently. And you just realize, oh, evidence-based is like a new thing. Okay, well, what were we doing before? Basically, no evidence. A system based on no evidence. So, some of the evidence-based things are positive. There's still a very inhumane element in how things are constructed, how they operate in people's experience. All right, so we have a beautiful cultivation card from the Buddhism Oracle deck. It kind of looks like that, if that helps. And this is a card of courage. It's not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit. I like that. It's not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit. We have the power within us to overcome virtually any impediment, any hurdle. And courage is a type of spiritual strength, taking us beyond fear and resistance, or transcending fear and resistance, removing internal and external blockages on the pathways. So it's giving us the energy to push forward, to break through, to push through any blockage or limitation. So when we practice this, the energy of courage, there's a certain inward grounding and certainty that is built one step at a time. And the more we do it, the more we practice, the more we start radiating outwards this kind of inner strength, allowing us really to take charge of the energy, even in times that may get difficult. So this is resolution. This is warrior spirit. This is stepping forward into life with fortitude, with our brilliance intact, shining our light forward, bringing dynamism into the world, believing in our virtues, believing in our values, believing in our ideas. This was pre-epidural, but rather twilight sleep anesthesia. This is twilight sleep anesthesia. So very peculiar realities. Okay, it's got a bit quiet right now, so I'm going to return to my normal face, my normal reality without anything around my ears. I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. All right, that's much better. So anything on your mind, in your hearts, anything that you would like to share, please feel free to write in the comments section. I am always interested in insight, in healing, in a type of attunement. And I think Carl Jung, I'm a great admirer of Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You'll call it fate. Beautiful, Carl Jung. What do you think of that? The subconscious mind, the collective consciousness, or the collective unconsciousness. So many words are used kind of interchangeably. Until you make the unconscious conscious. I'm just typing this out. It will direct your life. and you will call fate. There we go. Maggie, I'm joining a little late. I'm facing a major life challenge right now around the corner. Any advice? Okay. All right. So that was what I was talking about. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And Maggie says she's going through a major life challenge. Any advice? It does it does depend a little bit on what the challenge is. Ultimately, from a Buddhist perspective, everything is changing, everything is impermanent, and that's not to negate or bypass anything, any events in your life. It's just to say that all things will pass. All things will pass. So whatever's happening, we don't panic. We don't bring that kind of energy of his, this kind of, I don't know, if people panic, they bring that energy. We bring in peace. We bring in peace. And whether things are happening that appear to be good or bad, changes, ends, doors opening, doors closing, people being born, people dying, people suffering. It is all part of the dukkha that is one of the first truths that the Buddha brought into the world. That we are surrounded by dukkha. Once we can accept that and be, all right, these are the conditions we are facing, we're living under, it becomes less traumatizing, less provoking. Becomes something where, well, one day is Monday, the next day is Tuesday. One day we healthy, the next day we may be sick. One day we're sick, the next day we may be healthy. There's a cycle, a movement, a type of shifting that is always happening, and we're always colliding with the present moment. So we can do that with courage, with virtue, with peace, with acceptance, understanding, forgiveness, all bring all those qualities into the present moment. There's nothing, we don't take suffering away completely. We are able to transcend it with our consciousness, but it's not going to be completely removed just with a magic wand. We all sometimes are going to go through challenges, difficulties, things that we struggle with. It when we can bring an energy of understanding, wisdom, peace, and unconditional love to ourselves and to our lives, it really helps. It really helps. And Angela says, hi Angela, welcome to the show. Angela Star, great to see you, Angela. Ascending Universal Butterfly, Mr. Star, lovely to see you live, and you light up the screen with all those beautiful hearts. I think that's a rose. Looks like a hand, but such a beautiful color. And I just had the art exhibition, so I'm busy with artists and art the last week. So I love all the creativity that you bring to the world. Ascending Universal Butterfly, how has your week been? How is the week going? And Marianne says, why do I have a whole bunch of people being hard heads? My sisters, 2 different friends, and trying to help out, willing to meet halfway, but they won't meet me there. Why do I have to pull? That's a great question, Marianne. And sometimes it's just our it's not just our intention, it's our volition, or how we perceive reality, and that manifests in the world. So when we can dissolve our intractable thoughts, thoughts that are very hardwired, like this is black, this is white. when we can breathe into that, soften it, bring light into our consciousness, it does start to shift, and reality does start to evolve, to change, to morph, to transcend. So there's a kind of dancing, Marianne, and start to dance with your consciousness and play. Don't get rigid. When you're stuck rigidly, then you get a rigid response. So when you soften, it's like when you're in the water, it's very harmonious. You're floating. So bring that kind of harmony into your interactions and into your thoughts and feelings. Dwayne says, I don't care if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. I guess that's kind of the glass half full, type of thinking. And how we see the world, it can always be changed. It's there's a kind of middle way. We don't bypass reality. We don't say this noise I mentioned doesn't exist. It does exist, at least to me. And so when you say you don't care, I think that's a little bit bypass. That's a little bit bypassing, because it's when we become careless, we just don't care anymore. And I don't think that's an optimal state. So caring is what kind of part of the human experience, to care. And if we don't care, then we sort of we just end up quite lost, I would say. Just my opinion. My Italian side into it. Yeah, you could definitely say that, Marianne. A little bit of Italiano. There's so many Italians here, so there's definitely a fire and a spirit in that. Anita Caroline Davisaka, hi, I'm sick every day. Is that physical illness? Is that when you say you're sick every day, is that what kind of sickness, Anita? Just curious, and only if you're comfortable to share more about that, because this is a loving and welcoming space. Thank you for your perspective. I've been very anxious about facing this change and second guessing myself. So Maggie, just deep breaths. It sounds sometimes the simplest things are what are most powerful, and sometimes just breathing, moving, flowing. If you can, go for walks where you can exercise, get some perspective. Preferably go to a beautiful place where you can expand, literally move through the space and bring that energy to life. Because when we're too still, we get that energy, we create stuckness. So movement, physical movement, really does help to create some flow. Anita says, suppose you're right today, just getting through the heat. Just getting through the heat. And we bring our consciousness to everything. We are the observers. We are in the world, and we are influencing. We're always influencing from our observation. The observer effect in quantum physics. You have to observe struggle and understand what it is trying to get us to see. So there's always something to learn from the struggle. We always learn most. We learn most through difficulty. It's just this reality. When things are easy, we coast along. So there is the struggle does propel things forward. It does galvanize us and get us to move forward with more courage, more power. And in the bold moves, that's when we learn the biggest lessons. sometimes we don't need to react. I would say most of the time, Angela, we don't need to react. But with discernment, and it is a balancing act, and our karma is producing certain things and certain lessons, and sometimes just closing the door is not the right thing. Sometimes we do need to respond, or we do need to, I would say respond is a more cultivated word than react. We can always respond. Discernment is key, though. Discernment is always key. Try that. I don't have the funds all the time to deliver the items. Also, the energy, my time is valuable too. And absolutely, Marianne, your time and energy is valuable. That's a very important lesson, to acknowledge our own needs relationally whenever we have relationships. Do people pull on us? Do they push on us? Do they take from us? What are we giving and what are we receiving? Having these in balance, and understanding that this 3D world is transactional. There are transactional elements. We can transcend that through meditation, through grace, through prayer. We can transcend the transactional elements, but we still deal with them day to day. They're still, they are around. Physical and mental illness. So sorry to hear, Anita. So Anita is going through pain. And Marianne says Naples and Sicily, especially Sicily. So Sicilian energy, is that more fiery, Marianne? More fiery. And Anita says, I had a botched operation in 2016 and it went wrong. And I left with colostomy bag and no further issue problems. So it's a very unfortunate and difficult situation, Anita, which creates a lot of suffering, especially when you're in pain. Yes, I watched a program earlier on energy chi. Had blood tests today and they couldn't get blood flow. How do I find the chi blockages in my body? Something not right with my bowels now. There are Chinese medicine practitioners who are able to delve deeper into chi movement, to work with that. We can look at our emotions, what certain things we're holding on to, our life history, and everything is energy flow, and certain the vortex of energy that is the chakra system can get out of alignment. So we're asking the right questions. You are asking the right questions, Marianne. Indeed, it is mob culture. Even if your family isn't mobbed up, it's part of the collective consciousness, I guess. So Anita, let's pick some cards for you. And what we do with that kind of energy is we bring colors. So bringing beautiful pink is a joyous color. So you can always bring that pink energy. Blue is a cleansing color. So bring that blue to cleanse. So what you need is a lot of cleansing. And gold is sort of an illuminating color. It's sort of the sun as well, this shining brightness, this it's a very energetic color. And what else? Green. You need a lot of green. So bring the green energy, Anita. This is it's an interesting card. So it sees you walking with a lot of, I would say, karmic energies, a lot of not necessarily interstellar, but it's like you're part of this matrix, this earth matrix, and the polarity is for your soul growth, which may not be easy to hear. It's kind of like people say, oh, this is for your own good. It's not easy to hear that. This is it's like we were talking about the portal energy, walking through the portal, and you're walking through that portal. So it is a type of catharsis. It is a visceral type energy, but we can always let go and let God. When things get too hard, let go and let God. I do feel that finding the right medical practitioner is going to help you. So, looking for people who really care. I feel like what's missing from me. What's missing is care. Is someone who actually really cares, and bringing that kind of mindful energy into your life, into your body. Marianne says, indeed, it is mob culture, even if your family isn't mobbed up. And Anita says, thanks. All right. So what I may do is come on again tomorrow, just because of the construction noise. I find it rather distracting. So with your permission, Anita, let's delve into this energy a little bit deeper and bring those energies. The blue is the beautiful water, sky, the clear crystalline, sacred kind of fountain, sacred stream. That's the word, stream of light, clearing this energy, bringing it into alignment. And the card is very blue, so I'm feeling like blue right now is really the color for you to bring light, healing, illumination, to dive deeper. And I'm also feeling to be sharing is important. So there's a lot of stuck energy, and I feel like the more you can express, Anita, the more every way, it's not just one way of expression. In every way you can express, there I'm feeling growth, movement. So I'm feeling like there's this kind of like this unfolding where the more you can express, release, the more growth, the more transformation, and the more shifting. There are karmic ties to this, and it is part of the collective suffering and the suffering that your soul has signed up for. So be really brave and bring lots of courage and light into this experience. And we are here for you, sending you love and light, sending you peace, sending you grace. Knowing that sometimes all we can do is let go and let God. Bring in the higher force, bring in the one source of light, and upgrading one's consciousness, knowing that suffering is suffering. We can't always bypass what is painful. Sometimes we have to kind of dive right in, or just keep at it. Just feel it. And pain feels very real. Pain feels very real. So sending you lots of love, Anita. All right, so I'm going to see if I can come back tomorrow around this time just to continue. I hope to see everyone back here, and I hope there's no more construction. That would be ideal. And I've loved being with you today. Thank you so much for everyone for being here, and I will see you all again soon tomorrow, sending you all love and light and blessing and love, love, love. Thank you all for being here. Marianne says it would. Have a beautiful evening, Marianne. Anita, I think Anita says thank you. And Okay, thanks. I'm sleepy now, so we'll go to bed. So sending Anita lots of love. Sleep well, Anita. Stu says, great session. Thank you, Stu, with lots of hearts and love. And I'm going to do my best to be here tomorrow. So I may see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. On the inside, on the outside, on the other side, within, without, upstairs, downstairs, morning, evening, night. Sending everyone love, and have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and sweet dreams.